So I would just say that a discussion meeting is a combined workshop and voting meeting where the business is discussed by the board and then acted on by the board at the same legislative meeting.
Okay. The information we received is that if there is discussion going on during this meeting, all one board member has to say is, I want to go back to the regular business, and all discussion stops. All discussion stops.
No,
In the past, Mr. Lucas, we have had discussion meetings. They were called planning meetings. And the sole purpose of that meeting was to discuss and plan and come up with the agenda. Then the following 2 weeks, we had a voting meeting that lasted maybe 20 minutes because there was no more discussion because we had had a discussion meeting. But I'm very confused about how this meeting is going to be run. Are we going to be allowed to discuss at length issues of concern because there's no other venue? We don't have any other meetings.
Yes. Sure there is. So the discussion will be oriented around the items that are on the agenda. Under your board policy 006, anyone who wants to add an item for discussion or for action by the board or consideration can submit that to the superintendent and board president.
When do we discuss issues of concern regarding the school district?
Well, it's not an open-ended, I don't know of any districts that have open-ended, essentially monologue times where people can simply bring up whatever they think is important. But if you wanted to add it to the agenda, there's a process for that. It's in your board policy.
So when we had discussion meetings, they were discussions about issues related to the Southmoreland School District. It didn't have to be an agenda item unless it became an agenda item, okay? Now, secondly, I get my agenda approximately 2 days before the meeting. How am I supposed to?
I mean, I think that if there's an item that you want to that you would anticipate wanting to discuss, you would submit it to the superintendent and the board president.
When? I get the agenda 2 days before the meeting.
Yeah, but I would guess that you know about the concern before that 2-day period has arrived.
These are items of concern that should be discussed and voted on at another meeting. I don't understand. Now we never had this system before until, I think it was 2 years ago. I think Michelle Williams instituted it. Okay, but there's another question that comes to my mind. So the board president said, I need a motion. I need a second. And then he says, discussion? Discussion?
Yes.
All right, that's on that item, that's on that agenda item only.
Yes,
but agenda items are not pure. There are other concerns. And one of the requirements of the almighty PSBA is transparency, so that the public would understand how decisions are made by a school board. How can they understand if we can't discuss openly? Where's the transparency? I'm very confused. This document says discussion voting meeting, and I, for one board member, do not understand the definition of a discussion voting meeting. I know what a discussion meeting is, I know what a voting meeting is, but I don't understand what is a discussion voting meeting.
Peanut butter cup. It's with peanut butter and chocolate. No more complex than that, Dr. Fike.
Speak up, Sam.
It was, I remember my time as an IU employee covering these board meetings in this district. There were discussion/voting meetings that date all the way back
all
to
the time.
2019.
All the time.
Why in the past, we always had a discussion meeting, we discussed things, and we had the agenda, then the next week we voted on them.
I feel like we've had this
Why did
discussion
they get
about
away
2
from that?
meetings so
We're
many
not
times, though.
transparent
That's
enough.
not what
People
we're
don't know
doing
what's
right.
going on.
Well, that's their choice. Everything is published.
Whose choice?
The people who are uninformed, that's their choice.
How's it your choice if you're discussing 2 minutes before you vote on it?
We've had,
You need to have a.
this
a
isn't
meeting.
this isn't an item on the, I don't even
Stop
understand
talking
why.
to you.
I thought the
I'm
discussion.
allowed to speak just
I'm
as much as
talking
you
first.
are here.
Has,
I call
He
for
is
the
speaking.
orders of the
Right
day.
now.
All right,
I don't deserve to be spoken to.
Stop, we're going to get on with the agenda.
No, we want to talk about this.
We're
It's
going to
not
get
on
on
the
with the
agenda.
agenda.
Discussion and voting meeting.
Yeah, we're going to get on with the agenda.
This has to change.
We-
People want to know what's going on in these meetings.
Okay, thank you.
No transparency.
Thank you.
I'm not done
Thank
yet.
you. You are done.
So much for your discussion, Sam.
The following executive sessions were held August 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m., September 16th, 2025 at 6 p.m. For personnel and legal matters. Citizens' comments, agenda items only. Mr. Santmeyer.
Thank you. Bud Sandemeyer, South Broadway Street, Scottsdale. I've located on the agenda under Building Ground Security, the juvenile probation section. You want to authorize juvenile probation department or probation officers to carry firearms in and on school property effective 10/1 this year. There have been schools where, like Uvalde, they had 5 armed school officers on the premises. They stepped out. They were joined by 25 local PD, 91 state troopers, 149 border patrol, 376 armed officers in total. And they failed to respond for over an hour while the shootings were going on inside. They had 5 on premises at the time. More guns does not add to security. More guns adds to the danger. I'm against this recommended action. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Do you want me to speak to that?
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Okay. Next section is reports.
Superintendent's information.
I don't have any information for this meeting.
But I have questions to the superintendent's report that he sent out to the board. Now, is that an agenda item or isn't it?
Yeah, under the appropriate agenda item, you can.
Well, this superintendent's information, and that's what I'm talking about.
No, I have no public information for tonight.
Well, no, these are the reports that you send us, about the district.
That's information between you and me.
It's not for the public?
If I wanted a public report for tonight, I would have put it in and had one.
For example, you sent out information about school attendance and how important that is and how the community should be involved, and that's not for public knowledge?
That was an email I sent out to the public. That was not for a school board meeting.
Well, at what point can I talk about information that comes from the superintendent as enlisted superintendent's information?
When it pertains to an agenda item.
The agenda item is superintendent
Or
information.
if you ask to have an item placed on the agenda. I mean,
It's on the agenda. It says superintendent's information.
superintendent said he doesn't have any information for tonight.
But I need information from the superintendent.
Then you can go through the channels that everyone goes through and make a request to the superintendent.
So as a school board member, I cannot ask a question
No,
of
as
the
a school board member,
superintendent.
you can't hijack a meeting and monologue.
I'm not hijacking anything. I want an answer.
I call for the orders of the day.
There you go. I'm
Thank you.
keeping score. Number one.
ahead.
I'm keeping your.
Business manager,
I'm
transportation,
keeping the
director,
score
information.
for you,
Get
Richard.
me, Mr. Freund.
I'm sorry.
This is
Solicitor's
exactly what I
information.
I
predicted.
have no report tonight, Mr. President.
Thank you. Business manager, transportation, director, information.
I will delay my comments until we get to the finance section.
Thank you. CWCTC report.
I have nothing to report tonight.
I had a question for the business manager that had nothing to do with finance. I'm not allowed to ask yet?
We're going to go through this every time.
I have a question for the business manager that is not under financial information.
Okay, does it fall under any other agenda items?
I mean, I think that we have in the past
Business
encouraged you
manager information.
to make those questions known to the business manager prior to the public meeting so that it's not a gotcha situation and that she can have an answer.
I didn't know it was on the agenda or wasn't. There's no way for me to find out.
You get the agenda ahead of time, yeah?
I got it on Monday today. I got it yesterday, yes.
Okay. WIU report?
Yes, we had 2 meetings. We had 2 meetings in September. We had our regular meeting, and we had a special meeting. There are some concerns at the IU that are specifically related to a deficiency in parking. The concern is the Clearview School. The buildings were inherited by the present administration, and they have a lease on them until 2035. Prior to this summer, the employees could park and walk across a piece of land that did not belong to the IU, and they would be a Clearview School. The company that owned that building sold it, and they notified the IU that no employees were allowed to walk across to get from the administration building to Clearview. Therefore, they needed 53 more parking places. The building is owned by a corporation in California. And the argument now is who is responsible to do something to provide 53 more parking spaces. There are a lot of attorneys involved. The statute of limitations is almost over in terms of certain responsibilities. And as a result, the IU had to go to the Masonic building, which is located nearby. They are paying $1,200 a month rent for people to park their cars. And then they have to get in a shuttle bus. They have to take a shuttle bus from this parking lot out on the road and into Clearview School. This is a very, they have to do it twice a day. It's a very, very expensive proposition, and apparently there seems to be no resolution at hand. So we've had special meetings. I don't know where it's going to go now. Right now we're caught up in a lot of legal concerns, and the employees are affected, the students are affected, the administration is affected. But remember, this was an inherited situation. There's no way for us to, we don't own anything. We don't own that. The company in California owns it. And I don't know how this is going to work out, but we will be meeting again on Tuesday, a week from today, and we will work on that. But that's one of the main concerns that we have now. Personnel are all in place. The early intervention program is functioning. They're serving something like 2,000 kids. The programming itself is all in order. They just have a real problem now with how they're going to get these employees there because they have always parked at the IU. Parking is not in their contract. I asked about that, but it's past practice that they would.
Can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. How does the IU get their funding?
What?
Who funds the IU?
Who funds the IU? Yeah. They do not raise taxes. They get money from the federal government. They get money from various programs. A lot of it is they get state money, and they get
money from school districts, right?
Some. I think they've been getting it for years and years and years and years.
So.
And it has been cut down from 6% and 8% down to 1% and 2%.
How much does this affect what we're going to have to pay them?
Okay, I can give you some examples. It depends on how many students you have enrolled at Clearview. You only pay according to how many students you have. For example, Franklin Regional only sends 1 child. Therefore, their entire annual payment for that program, that transportation thing, is $600 a year. Another school district has 19 children coming to that school. So their responsibility is much greater than that. Southmoreland, we're kind of on the low end. We don't have that many kids.
Actually, we're third highest.
What?
Third highest. We're third highest.
Third highest?
Third highest, yes.
Well, that's not the information I have. They gave us a chart.
Yeah. So do you know what it's going to actually cost us?
$12,000.
So you absolutely voted no for this, right? You voted no for this?
They showed us charts on the screen.
Yeah, how did you vote? You have a vote, right?
They haven't voted on it.
They haven't voted on the parking?
No, it's still in the uproar.
They haven't voted. They're running shuttle buses and they haven't voted.
They voted on that.
Oh, okay. And how did you vote on that?
Yes, because I asked the executive director. I said, if you had not rented the parking places and established the van, what would have happened? He said he would have had to cancel school. And there is a policy at the IU that the executive director, when it is an unbudgeted item, is responsible for paying whatever is necessary so that there is no interruption in the educational program.
So you voted yes to the $12,000 increase to South.
Absolutely. I would not want our children not to be able to go to school.
All right. Just clarifying. Thank you. Is that all you have in your report? Is that all you have in your report? Okay, thanks.
I wouldn't say any more if I had to.
All right, committee reports. Buildings and Grounds, the next meeting is October 13th. Finance, District Operations, Transportations, next meeting is to be determined. Personnel Policy and Academics, next meeting is October 13th. Non-academic athletics and extracurricular, next meeting to be determined. School Safety and Security, next meeting September 22nd. So nothing to report for committees. Student reports.
If there's a question about one of these items, we can't ask it because it's not on the agenda, is that right?
They're in committees?
I have a question about buildings and grounds issues.
I mean,
If there's a Buildings and Grounds Committee to report on,
there is.
is there?
I mean, there's no report, but go ahead, ask away.
Okay. Was there a meeting held to discuss staffing needs for buildings and grounds?
Not that I'm aware, kind of an ongoing issue. People resign.
Well, this is my concern. Up until not too long ago, the Southmoreland School District maintenance people were responsible for 100% of the maintenance, however it had to be done for the whole school,
And you saw where that got us.
right? 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true because we still had to hire people to come in and fix it.
And that's right, but that was still our
That's not
responsibility.
100%.
That was still our responsibility to get it done.
And it still is.
Our responsibility to get it done.
It still is.
So now we bring in Constellation, and we spend $13.5 million getting all this new stuff that no longer has to be maintained by the Southmoreland School.
That's absolutely incorrect. That is, and that's why we're in this predicament, is that thought process right there.
If you
Even
bought a
when you have new things, they
$100,000 car, you
still need
still have to
maintained.
change the oil in the tire.
They'll need maintained even if they're brand new. And that thought process is very telling as to why we're in the predicament.
So there is
we're in.
no warranty on anything being done by Constellation.
So even when something breaks down, you need somebody present to figure out what's going on.
And you don't call Constellation.
Well, there's differences between warranty
I'm not
and
talking to you, I'm talking
I don't
to him.
think that you should be able to
Okay.
just speak to me like that, actually.
If you have
I'm a member of this board, and I'm just going to keep
you
talking.
put new
until
lights
you
on the
let me.
stage.
One
okay?
person should have the floor at a time, please.
But if she's
If
having
you
a
have lights on the
conversation,
stage and all of a sudden they don't work, it's that Constellation just installed. I saw that list. They did the lighting. So that means that they are not responsible to come back and maintain that, even though it's brand new. Is that correct? So we have to hire people
I don't
to do
understand
that.
what you're saying. No.
We do not have the demands for maintenance that we
Okay,
had before.
So when
We cannot keep hiring people when there is less work to do.
okay, is that all you got? Thank you. Okay, now, student reports.
To start off, we want to congratulate the Scotty Scholar of September, who is Megan Mehal.
We also want to congratulate the 2025-26 homecoming court, Caitlin Campbell, Kierlyn Fedorko, Madison Lucia, Megan Mehal, Alexa Pandolo, Riley Pletcher, Allison Snett, Brady Butts, Stanley Chapman, Noah Flenser, Austin Hudek, Chad Long, Ty Work, and Damian Wright.
And on September 5th, Southmoreland held its first pep rally of the school year, recognizing fall sports, the challenge program winners, and celebrating Joey Bent's state championship win with the gun high varsity male division, and also recognizing Joey as the top shooter in Pennsylvania. The challenge program winners included Shirley Albright, Steven Sikowski, Jackson Rager, Walter Higgins, Zoe Welling, Olivia Bell, Megan Mehal, Xavier Corti, Kaylin Raymond, and Elizabeth Ray. The categories included attendance, community service, academic improvement, and academy excellence, and also STEM. The Scotty football team is undefeated with a record of 4-0 with an upcoming game against the Ringgold Rams. With the theme being USA at home this Friday, it will also be Youth Recognition Night to recognize our midget football players and cheerleaders.
The Southmoreland Marching Band kicked off its competitive season on Saturday, September 6th at Kiski High School. The event was a judged, non-scored festival where the band received valuable feedback from judges traveling in from North Carolina and Tennessee. This past weekend, the band took the field at PIMBA competition hosted by Baldwin High School. Southmoreland earned first place in Class AA and swept the Caption Awards, taking home honors for Outstanding Music Performance, Outstanding Visual Performance, and Outstanding General Effects. Next up, the band will march in the Scottsdale Fall Festival Parade this Saturday before heading to York High School on September 27th for their next competition. All homecoming court members will also be featured in the parade.
Lastly, Southmoreland Student Council is in the process of planning a fall powder puff game. This will be in the support of Susan G. Combs Breast Cancer Foundation. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. As always, if you want to go home and get your homework done, now is your chance.
I think we'll stay.
He says, I think we'll stay.
Bless you.
Okay, our next section is school board.
The board is asked to approve the following meeting minutes. August 19th, 2025, discussion/voting meeting.
So do.
Second. Discussion.
Yes, I have a question. When I raised the issue about the cell phones, my comments were put in, but there was no record, Lori, of what Mrs. Colabank said in response to my question. Like when I asked Mr. Haichu a question, he responded, his answer was in there. But I would like to know if there is a concern about cell phones in the school. What was her response? And I couldn't find that in the meeting, in the minutes.
It's on the YouTube video. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
No.
Student representatives. The board is asked to appoint Audrey Miller, Zoe Welling, and Alexa Pandulo, alternate, as student representatives to the Board of School Directors for the 25-26 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
It's going to be real awkward if we vote no. Just kidding, girls.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next section is policies.
No items for this month.
The next section is personnel.
The board is asked to approve the personnel log for September 16th, 2025 as attached. All salaries are included and all clearances are current and on file with the administration.
So do.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Okay. Next section is education.
Band May trip. The board is asked to approve the request for a marching band trip to Sandusky, Cleveland, Ohio, with various experiences and locations from Friday, May 8th, 2026 to Saturday, May 9th, 2026, and no cost to the district, as attached.
So do.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I have a student in marching band, just in case that was a conflict.
Thank you.
That is not a conflict.
Okay, just wanted to be very, very transparent there.
You just voted to spend a lot of money. Student service agreements. The board is asked to approve the following annual student service agreements. Ask Speech Therapy, Inc.
So do.
Second.
Discussion.
Is
I'll-
that for speech therapy in our district or in somewhere else?
I don't have that answer right now, Dr. Pike.
I know that for me to put it on the agenda, I had to find out that it was for a student that is in a placement that needs the service.
It's in a placement. That's fine. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Next section is finance.
Monthly financial reports. The board is asked to approve the following monthly financial reports, all attached. Number 1, Treasurer's Report. Number 2, General Fund Board Summary Report. Number 3, Fund Accounting, Capital Fund, Capital GISA, and Food Service Check Summary Listing.
So do.
Second.
Discussion.
Does this include the report from the board, from the business manager?
It's going to, when we get down further.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Delegates for Westmoreland County Tax Collection Committee. The board will be asked to appoint Diane Figg, East Huntington Tax Collector, as delegate, and Pam Mondock, Business Manager, Transportation Director, as an alternate delegate for the Westmoreland County Tax Collection Committee.
So do.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Joint Purchasing Consortium Representatives. The board is asked to approve Ms. Pamela Mondock, Business Manager, as authorized representative to the WIU Joint Purchasing Consortium, and Ms. Shira Barnhart as alternate representative.
So do.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? WIU Joint Purchasing Consortium 2627. The board is asked to approve advertising jointly as a member of the Westmoreland Intermediate Unit Joint Purchasing Consortium for the purchase of supplies in the following categories: multi-purpose paper and unleaded gasoline and diesel fuel.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Investing GISA funds. The board is asked to approve moving $4 million of our funds from the money market account to 2 certificate of deposits as follows: $2.75 million in a 3-month CD at 4.15% and $1.25 million in a 6-month CD at 4%.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I would like to give my report now, if I may.
Yeah.
I just passed out a packet to all of the members regarding the CD bond proceeds response. Exhibit number 1, why the hurry? From what I've been reading, the Federal Reserve, all indicators state that the interest rates will be dropping, probably this week. As you can see from my backup provided, which I've numbered all of the exhibits, that the rates have begun decreasing, and I felt the rates provided me by FNB wouldn't hold until the meeting. So that's why I had asked Dr. Boone to contact you, Dwayne, to do a straw poll to get that taken care of. Exhibit number 2 addresses the question, investing tax-free bonds permissible. I contacted my bond team to get your written documentation that it was permissible with restrictions. Please refer to the email both from Alicia Henry from PNC and Zach Willard from PFM. The exhibit addresses both if it's allowable, which it is, and Zach is going to give us assistance to calculate the average rate of return and the final reporting requested. Exhibit number 3, I also contacted Anthony Ditka, who was our legal counsel for the bond. Since his report is quite lengthy, I took the liberty of highlighting parts of his response that basically said the state with certain restrictions are well within our rights to invest these funds. Exhibit number 4 comes from our auditor. Mr. Mark Turnley was also asked to weigh in this matter, which he did. Again, once again, due to time constraints of this meeting, I've highlighted the information stating we are well within our rights to invest these funds. And lastly, exhibit number 5 in the large spreadsheet that I've given you shows the draw spreadsheet from Constellation. As you can see, we would definitely meet the spend down requirements. So when we were looking at 6 months, all that we had to for the spend down requirements was to spend 10%. We will spend 49%. At 1 year, we have to spend 45%. We are on track to spend 75% of those funds. 15 months into the project, it is supposed to be done, and all the money's expensed. We would have spent 100%. By 18 months, the rules basically state that we only have to have 75%. So with that, I felt very confident that we would be able to get these funds out there, get the CDs lined up so that we could earn an additional $40,000 for our district. Because obviously, there are things that the Constellation project does not cover. There are things that we need. I know, for example, we've had additional expenditures on the rock wall that we had to take care of. We have a little cart that the guys use. Cart's not the right word, I'm sure, but it's motorized. But I know it's on its last leg, so there are many things that we need to find extra funds for. So that's what I was basically trying to accomplish with this.
Great work, Pam.
Well done.
Great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Pam, what are our payments on the bond during the same period of time?
Dr. Fike, I'm not prepared to answer that question tonight. I don't know that off the top of my head, but I can certainly get that for you.
We borrowed this money at 4.15%, right?
I have to look at that as well, just to verify, to make sure what it is. I don't want to misspeak.
So if you borrowed at 4.15 and you're going to invest and get 4.15, isn't that a wash? Am I missing something?
Yes. If you do nothing with the money, you pay 4.15.
You do nothing with the money?
You pay the interest. So we're getting that money back in essence. So maybe it is a wash, but it's not a cost. So you, again, in a more advantageous position.
So you are lowering our payments every year on the bond?
What I'm trying to do, I'm just investing this for 3 months, one CD, and 6 months the other. What I'm trying to do is earn back some of the money that we're having to pay out for this.
He said we don't have to pay on the bonds.
That is not what I said, Dr.
No, he said that.
No, I never said that.
What did you say? What did you say, Dwayne?
We still have to pay the bonds whether the money's invested or not.
Right.
If the money is invested, we're earning some money back to help with those payments. If we do nothing and just keep it in a regular account, we're not earning any interest and it's costing us more essentially.
Okay, I'm not obviously very smart here. If we owe 4.15% payments, and you invest and you get 4.15%.
But I've only invested $4 million of the dollars, first of all, because I had to keep, with the arbitrage rules in effect. plus also the drawdown schedule. I had to make sure that we had enough money to make those payments in the checking account. And with that being said, like I said, if I did nothing, it would have cost us essentially $40,000 more because I didn't earn that, if that makes sense to you.
So when these two investments are made, we're going to make $40,000.
Correct.
$40,000
Yes, ma'am.
on a 13.5 million bond issue, 16 million bond.
No, all that I'm investing, all that I've asked to invest is the $4 million, which will not be needed during that time period. That's all that I've asked to invest.
What if it is needed during that time period?
I can tell you that Constellation is very easy to work with. I do not feel that there would be a problem, but if you certainly look at the spreadsheet that I gave you, it will show you what is needed during that time period, and I was sure to keep enough in the checking account to cover that.
I know for a fact that there is some equipment that will not even be arriving until next summer.
Right. And according to his draw schedule, our last payment will be in July of 2026, and it'll be $1.4 million.
But if you withdraw early from a CD, there's a penalty.
Correct, but we will not need to do that. Like, as I've said a few times here this evening, I've made sure that we have enough money to cover the time period of the 3 months and to cover the time period of the 6 months. We are fine.
And you have guarantees that no payments will be required during that period of time.
Right, and like I said, we're earning money. And as a matter of fact, I talked to my banker actually on the way over to the meeting tonight, and she tells me that there is actually she says, Pam, everybody that has this situation earns interest if they can.
So you have
Like,
$4
that's
million, you have $4 million that we don't need right now.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask this question again because I still didn't get an answer. It was to be somewhere between 13.5 million and 19 million, and the magic number is 16.5. So if you subtract from the 16.5, $4 million, that gives you 12. Why did we borrow this amount of money?
The reason why when we started out to borrow the funds, we had 3 loans. 2 of them were at 1% interest rate or less. The other one was at a higher rate of interest. So when the bond counsel came here, they spoke and they said, if it's advantageous for us to pay off loan number 3
Yes, we
and
did.
roll it into this bond issue, they're certainly going to do it. And it was advantageous for us to do it. If memory serves me, it was around a savings of $175,000. So therefore, they did it. So you have to take the amount that was left, subtract the amount that was left on that loan from the $16.4 million that we borrowed, and that gave us the $13,350, which we needed for the Constellation project.
But we could have borrowed this money a year from now.
No, we've already paid Constellation more than $4 million. If you look at the spreadsheet, if you refer to exhibit number 5, the spreadsheet, you will see where it says 9/1-actual, and it says $4,811,227. That is the payment that they are requesting for September of 2025. You see September, they have $1,060,000. October, $601,000, and so on. So as I said, yes, we needed the money right now because where would I get the $4 million to pay them? Now, we don't have that type of money available in a capital fund.
I think one of the things that happened was their original plan was to have the high school HVAC units in this August. But all of the shipping and ordering for those devices came to a halt with some of the things that are going on.
With tariffs.
Yeah, nationwide with tariffs and everything, so.
So I apologize, Pam, you might have explained it while trying to read all the emails, but how are we meeting the rebate requirements? I understand the schedule you've given
Yes.
is the actual bond, but if I understand reading this right, the rebate requirements would be the proceeds, so everything we make off the bond?
Right, so right now, like I said, we're at 4.15 for 3 months and 4% for 6 months. The proceeds, basically, and what they suggested you do, and I'm going to be working with Zach from PFM, who's part of our bond team, to make sure that, we're going to keep a close watch on it to make sure that, we've got certain things that will remain within that rate. Plus, we also have to meet the spend down schedules. So, for example, the spend requirements for 6 months is 10%. For 12 months is 45%. For 18 months, it's 75%. We're going to well exceed that spend down schedule, so therefore we will be fine.
So, and I apologize, I might be misunderstanding, but
That's okay.
the schedule is based off the bond and what Constellation is giving us per month, right?
Yes,
But the rebate requirements are the proceeds of the bond, which would be what we make in interest off the bond, right?
correct.
So are we adding then additional work in order to spend those proceeds? Because the bond money's already accounted for in the construction.
Correct. But we're actually trying to earn interest so that we have additional funds at our disposal. What we will do is, like I said, it will be monitored closely so that we don't hit the arbitrage rate. So, I'll be working with Zach from PFM for that. And, my thought is we're going to earn some money so that we have some funds available. I hope that answers your question. I don't know if.
I mean, mostly, and I agree. I think it's a great thing to do and it makes sense. It's just, if I'm reading all this correctly, we've got to have a plan in order to spend that 40,000 basically within the 2 years, which is in
Right.
addition to
Right.
what we're doing with the geese already.
You are exactly correct.
Okay.
Yes. I got you now. I
And-
got you. We're speaking, we're
Yep.
good.
It's a lot going on in these. Do we have that kind of funds allocated? Are we getting, do we need new trucks or that kind of stuff? Or
Oh, we absolutely need new trucks. We still have 2 2010 vehicles that we need to replace.
okay, so we'll be able to spend that 100% of that 40,000 within
Oh,
the 2 years.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
and like I said, that's what without a doubt.
Perfect. Thank you.
Pam, on the agenda itself,
vocabulary
you
word.
say we are permitted to earn interest to our arbitrage rate. What is our arbitrage rate?
Our arbitrage rate is included in the packets that I provided. It is, let me get there. $3.7706%.
Okay, and you say we're going to earn 4.15 and 4.
Right, and that's why I have to, that's why I'm going to be working with Zach from PFM to make sure that the report, to make sure that, let me look and to make sure that it is indeed reported and we are not breaking any of the arbitrage rules. Like I said, we can earn money. It is very restrictive how we earn that money, and I intend to definitely work with. To me, it's worth the extra work for me, for us to earn an additional $40,000 for the
It
district.
says we're allowed to earn up to our arbitrage
Yes.
rate, and our arbitrage rate is 3.7.
Correct. But,
Yeah, you say it's 4.15 and 4.0.
correct, but think about it, I'm only investing $4 million. The rest of it,
So the arbitrage rate is on the entire bond?
it's on the entire amount. So if you're looking, that's not just individually. You're going to put all of that amount together, and that's how we're going to calculate. You have to calculate, whenever you do the reporting, you have to calculate an average rate, not the actual rate. It is an average rate. So if you're calculating an average rate and you've only invested the $4 million at a higher rate, then obviously you're going to be well within your arbitrage amounts.
So that changes when you break up the money.
Correct. Yes. Like I said, you have to average it. You don't just say, okay, for $4 million, I got a 2.750. I got 4.15 at 1.250. I got 4%. That's not how it works. You do an average of the amount earned.
And that's different than the interest rate that we pay on the bond.
Yeah, and like I said, I will get you that information.
Well, I looked up what is an arbitrage. And it's a calculation of the prices of a given stock, body, or like in different places at the same time. The person who does it is an arbitrager. And from what I can figure out, that's a third-party person who makes a decision.
That is the third-party person that I'm going to be working with, Zach from PFM, who's going to make sure that we maintain what we need to maintain to keep us well within the rules and the regs.
So where did we get our bonds from, BFM?
Well, if you remember, there were three of them that came. There was Alicia from PNC, there was Zach from PFM, and there was Mr. Didka from Dinsmore. So all three of them came and spoke to us here and explained all that information.
Which one was the arbitrager?
There's probably not somebody that has a specific job title as the arbitrager.
Yeah, that's not his specific. He was the one that you had made mention.
So he's going to change the rates then on this $4 million.
He's not going to change the rates. He's going to work with me to make sure that we do not go over the arbitrage rate.
Okay, what if you do go over? What happens?
Then we have to set aside the interest monies and pay a portion of the interest back.
Are there taxes on any of this money?
No.
No.
It's just it's just the arbitrage rate. If, like I said, if we don't make it, then we have to set aside keep a pot of money of the interest that we earn so that, we would have to send it back. But like I said, I'm just trying to be a good steward of the funds available of the district and earn some interest for us.
Great job.
But it could be less than $40,000 if something goes wrong.
Correct.
And the money is tied up in the 3 and 6 month periods,
Yes.
and you're guaranteed that you won't withdraw it.
I don't see any reason, looking at the draw schedule, that I would need to.
All right, thank you. On to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
What are we voting on?
On the transfer, you're ratifying the transfer that,
Okay, I just want to be sure. It's been a long time since we
All
said
right.
what number, what item we were
yeah.
on. I just want to be clear.
Well, I had some questions of the business manager under her report. She said she was going to give a report. Are you going to do that now?
I just gave the report. That was my report.
Okay, my questions are about the information you put in the agenda about the cyber school.
Where's it in the agenda?
It was in my agenda. I have it in my hand. And
It is under
your own
business
agenda?
manager.
I got it in my agenda. It came in my agenda.
Okay.
Anyhow, Pam, the concern
Hold on,
is
can we just
we have
pause,
600.
take a time out for a second? Did we vote?
yeah,
Or
I
did
don't
we
know.
not?
Did we hear
Or
a
what?
vote?
Where are we? Are we still discussing? I just need to know what we're doing here.
All right, let's redo the vote.
I'm out.
All right, let's redo the vote for H5, investing the GISA funds. The board is asked to approve moving $4 million of our funds from the money market account to 2 certificate of deposits as follows. $2.75 million in a 3-month CD at 4.15%, $1.25 million in a 6-month CD at 4%.
You already have a motion and a second?
We have a motion and a second. We've discussed. On to the vote. All those in favor?
I have a question. You said you
Let's
moved
get the
this,
vote through.
you moved this money from a money market account? I thought it was from the bond issue.
When you get the bond issue, it doesn't sit over there at the issuance. It actually comes to you, and you have to have a account in which to put it in.
Okay, and that's called a money market account. That was my question.
Okay, on to the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next.
Next section, building grounds and security.
Westmoreland County Juvenile Probation. The board is asked to approve the Westmoreland County Juvenile Probation Department probation officers to carry firearms in and on school property effective 10/1/25 to 9/30/26.
So do. Second.
Discussion.
These are officers that are on probation. They're not considered,
They're probation officers, but for them to be on premises, and to have probation officers in school is a pretty common arrangement. For them to be on school premises with a firearm, they have to be approved.
same clearances like a trooper or,
Yes, I mean, they're going to, they would have those clearances as part of their
so
job.
that the same qualifications of like a trooper or a township cop or whatever, right?
Right, or more to the point, like a school police officer.
What happens if we vote that we do not authorize them? Then what do they do with their firearm?
So they'd have to make other arrangements to leave them off school premises, or it might also limit your ability to have those probation officers in the schools.
It'd be the same thing if you call the state police and they come and they have sidearms. It's the same thing.
Right.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next section is athletics and activities.
No items for this month.
Hey, can you tell me why I still can't ask the business manager these two questions under her report?
It's in C3 is what you're looking for.
Yeah,
C3.
well,
All right, go ahead.
it's C3, yeah.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
was in the
Go ahead, Dr. Fike.
agenda. According to the information you gave us, Pam, we are $628,661 deficit in cyber school payments. Is that right?
Let me pull up the
I mean, that's what's on those charts that you gave us.
Okay, so looking at the 23, or the 23-24 versus the 24-25 cyber charter comparison, you can see the variance is $448,411.26.
I'm not seeing that now.
And that is with, the reason why I gave this to you again, because I had provided this information last month, was because we had received some additional reconciliation billings
Yeah.
from the cyber charters, and I wanted you all to see what it was. But, so we were at 1.9, we were at 1.5 last year, so that is an overage of $448,411.26.
So for 24-25 on this, we're in 25-26 now, but for 24-25, you budgeted $1,370,000, right?
Correct, or you must,
But the payments were $1,998,661.
that is correct.
So I subtracted one number from the other, and I got a different number than you did.
What I was looking at was, yeah, you're right, it's the 668. What I was looking at is 1 year's variance to the other.
Oh, no. My question,
gotcha.
Pam, is if we have a $628,000 deficit, where do we get the money to pay that?
We do have funds that we put in the fund balance that is called assigned fund balance for cyber charter overages. That is where we get the funds.
It comes out of the fund balance.
It comes out of the assigned fund balance, that is correct. But even though we're this high, right now, looking at the data for the end of year, our amount that we're over is far less than the $600,000.
It's going to be less than $600,000 this year.
Right now it is. The audit is not completed. There are still some adjusting entries that need to be made. The CFA, which is the Schedule of Federal Awards, has not been done yet, so that there are a lot of changes that happens with that. Like I said, I've been working, sending report after report to the auditors, but we're not ready yet to give final numbers.
In other words, are you saying that we will get help paying this bill?
What I'm saying is the deficit won't be nearly as large from what I'm seeing right now of the $600,000. It will not be that large from what I'm seeing right now. Like I said, that is indeed subject to change once we do the CFA report, but, you know.
Pam, you sent us a memo that I read, and it said that you were counting on something happening in Harrisburg that didn't.
Yes, that is
So as a
correct.
result, you didn't increase the amount of money that you had budgeted this year for
Correct.
cyber school. So that's really not a problem then, because
Well, right now, it's anybody's guess what's happening in Harrisburg. We did, you know, whenever I went and met with the senators and representatives, they had told us that they believed cyber charter reform was coming. From what I did read today from the why can't I speak today? Advocacy Department at PASBO, they do believe that there was going to be additional monies given towards cyber charter reform, but not near the amount that we were hoping for.
there is going to be some.
That's what they're saying, but like I said, until the ink is dry on the budget, I'm not really going to buy anything at this point.
The other question I have is you have been giving us repeated information from a person called Susan Spica.
Yes.
And from what I can tell, this is a private organization.
Yes, what they do is they are monitoring very closely cyber charter expenses and some of the things that they are doing that we obviously are not permitted to do. And so therefore, you know, we're trying to basically highlight the wasteful spending, I guess is a good way of saying it, of the cyber charter schools. Because it would be great if they lived under the same rules and regs that we do. They do not.
Okay, but this is a private organization. At the end of each one of their things, they want us to donate today, donate. And I don't see why a school should be getting stuff from a private organization who's seeking donations, Pam.
Well, we're not donating.
I didn't say you were donating. I'm saying they're asking for it. And I don't think we should be participating in a private organization that's asking us to donate because they have a cause. This discredits their information, in my opinion. I guess you think enough of them they can send that out, but I don't think we should be dealing with organizations that are looking to raise money.
All right, thank you. Citizens' comments. Catherine Fike, you still have comments?
Bud Sandemeyer again. My copy of the agenda is missing a couple of things. I just wanted to ask a couple of questions about two items and then a comment. The first was about the student service agreement. My copy does not have the estimated cost of that. Do we have that? And the other item is the purchasing consortium. I don't have an estimated cost on that.
That's just to enter into the consortium. The prices come at different times throughout the year. It's twice a year.
It's basically asking that we're part of the consortium and that they are allowed to advertise for prices. It's basically just advertising that the consortium
So there's
does.
no estimated cost?
For the
on
fuel or for the paper at this point, no, there is not.
And,
They're just getting bids, aren't they?
That is correct.
and on the
Bids. There's no-
service agreement, we're getting bids on that too, or
That is something that I'm not involved in.
that's the speech therapy?
Yeah, that's something that I'm not involved in. I don't.
Okay, and my comment is I thank the board for working very hard on the financing, especially since the delays with our state legislature and the feds on settling budgets and monies for education, and I appreciate the hard work that goes into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Need a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hey, that's the